The newest event is going to be finally rerunning the Cath boss battle, which I don't think we've seen since Chaos Arthur's debut, so that's cool. We're going to talk about turning this on Extreme. So we have two teams we're going to cover. The first team is going to be Baldr Counter, which is going to be Baldr, Freyr, Green Hawkslow, and Anashi. Baldr's obviously got this crazy counter attack on his stance, which scales off of defense. So we run triple defense with crit damage in the top row. Freyr is going to be boosting all allies' basic stats that are rag and unknown, and then also buffing their single target damage dealt. If you don't have his relic, it's not worth running Freyr. I'd probably swap him for a defense booster for Baldr, such as LR Glocks. Green Hawkslow has a really nice buff that boosts damage dealt, so that's going to include all kinds of damage. And then Anashi is obviously the GOAT when it comes to unknown buffing because of both relic and his passive. The card set is going to be the God set, which we saw during the Baldr patch, so number 50. And then the food is going to be defense because Baldr's going to be doing all of the damage. And this team is going to be a manual 2-turn. The human team, which is up next, is going to be an auto 2-turn. Shocker, right? So this is basically triple DPS and one buffer. I guess technically Chaos Arthur has a little bit of a human buff here. But he's going to function as a DPS. He scales off HP, so you have HP defense. Obviously, Escanor is a big baddie. Attack crit for him. I like Jenna, kind of testing her out as the solo buffer here. The red Jenna is going to be providing 10% off her passive and then a 12% off of her relic. So that's 22% attack related to human allies. It might be the best if she's solo buffing humans. Not 100% sure. I know Blue Shin is 20% attack related. Yuri's 20% basics. Mikasa's 10% basic, 50% single target. So I guess you can just do whatever you got. And then obviously Roxy is attack crit, and her crit chance scales based off of humans, so that's why I probably wouldn't recommend running somebody like Donna Liz in the slot just because she's not a human. She'll break up that synergy. The card set's going to be Sky Ocean Summer, number 40, and the food here is going to be attack, which we'll switch to when we switch to this team. So that's going to be our setups. We'll go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so we're going to start things off here. Looks like Baldr's obviously going to have his initial counter. We're going to buff up with Hawkslow because it does last for 2 turns, so we don't have to worry about a buff cancel with this boss. We're going to use Baldr's Drain and then Freyr's weak single target. Now, depending on Baldr, if he misses a crit, you'll need the Freyr attack. If he doesn't, then you don't need it. We only missed 1. Okay, I'll say if you miss 2 crits, then you'll need the extra attack, but in this case, you know, that's fine. Now, the second phase, you're going to see that he's going to have a damage taken decrease for X type. So it looks like in this case he's going to start off on light, but what's going to happen is it's going to shift depending on the damage that he last took. It's 70%, which is fat. So since Baldr is green, what we're going to want to do is make sure we do not end our turn on a green attack. So what I'm going to do is double Freyr, and then I'll use this Anashi card. So we're not going to use the hot card, right, because he's green. This will put him on blue. You don't have to worry about anything here. Get a couple crits with all of our cards here. Anashi even managing to pull off a crit. That's funny. Okay, so we get into about, what is that, like, we took away 30%. It's fine. Ultimate move gauge buff, that's fine. Baldr's going to crit for 1.4 mil on that counter. And that's going to wrap up phase 2 pretty quickly. So that's pretty easy. We'll go ahead and shift to the human team. So now it's the humans' time to shine. Like I said, this is going to be an auto on 2 turns. So we're going to have Chaos Arthur debuff proc first, because debuffs do have that priority. And then you have your attacks from right to left. So we're going to see Roxy AoE and single target, followed by Jenna card. Whatever that does. Who knows? She's literally just the stat stick, so she's hanging out. She's going to die to Roxy's attacks anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Now, depending on the merges, this other Jenna attack will probably go off. Yeah, we do have an Esca merge, which is crazy. So, the unfortunate thing about this is it is back-to-back green. So we are going to have only 30% of our damage go through, but it's a silver single target. It didn't matter. I see. 1 mil anyways, ignoring 70% of the damage taken. That's crazy. That's how strong the humans are, so that is going to be our setup. So if you guys like it, drop a thumb, maybe sub if you're into that, and I'll see you in the next one.